So this one's going to be the last episode featuring 21 lessons for the 21st century. And I do at least believe that we're going to go through the whole one today. It depends on how just long it is going to take me, and or also how much things that I'm going to add. Because, for example, in the last episode, I've just barely added anything, you know, which is not really something that I want to go for since I don't know, like, yeah, I'm not a fucking audiobook, even though it is also quite of a great thing. But yeah, anyway, we're going to see after the intro as always. As we are always doing that, you know? As we are always doing that. Because this is what we do on the fucking podcast, motherfuckers. But yeah, anyway. And it is not there, which is not good. Which is not good, but here it is. The amazing summary, the amazing thing. By the way, the link is down in the description. Also, the link to the podcast and or to the YouTube channel, if you're already on a podcast, is down in the description, which means that check it out. You know, it means that you should check it out. This should be episode, let me think, 874 or some shit, something like that, you know, something around. So if you're on YouTube, then please just transition to the podcast and search for it there somehow. You're probably gonna find it. It's probably also kind of the exact same what is it called, title, yes, and yeah, and also the date, of course. This is for sure gonna be the same, so maybe orientate yourself on that. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna start. There is a story of a man who claimed that the world is kept in place by resting on the back of a huge elephant. When asked what the elephant stands on, he replied that it stands on the back of a large turtle, and the turtle on the back of an even bigger turtle. And that bigger turtle, the man snapped and said, "Don't bother about it. From there onwards, it's turtles all the way down." Going back to the introductory gambit on stories, the most successful stories, Harari says, are open-ended. Most stories are held together by the weight of the roof rather than by the strength of the foundations. In history, the roof is sometimes more important than the foundation. I see. Make people believe in your story. Is it now about marketing or... If you want to make people really believe in some fiction entity, then what? In some fiction entice them to make a sacrifice on its behalf. Why do you think women ask their lovers to bring them diamond rings, asks Harari. Once a lover makes such a huge financial sacrifice, he must convince himself that it was for a worthy cause. This is in line with rationalizing and normalizing our decisions and what Barry Schwartz calls satisficing. Not satisfaction, satisficing. When you inflict suffering on yourself in the name of some story, it gives you a choice. Either the story is true or I'm a gullible fool. When you inflict suffering on others, you are also given a choice. Either the story is true or I'm a cruel villain. And just as we don't want to admit we are fools, we also don't want to admit we are villains. So we prefer to believe that the story is true. And I think it just totally makes sense. And by the way, like, don't buy fucking diamond rings. I think it is just the biggest fucking waste of money there is. And of course you can say, okay, it's gonna be worth more in just 100 years because whatnot. Maybe not. You know, I don't really know if it is like, I don't know, real estate or some shit. But yeah, I don't believe in that. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe that it is something that important, but I understand the whole point. Like, if you really made the decision to buy that, well, you know, it is a quote-unquote relatively high financial risk, so you better be quite sure about this girl or about this woman. Quite, you know, so for me it makes sense, to be honest. It totally makes sense. And I just thought if there is also some other way to do that, because, I don't know, you're not gonna marry everyone, but you can still somehow show people how much you really like them by also, I don't know, taking a risk. But I just thought, you know, I mean, it just totally comes up to the situation, and it totally comes up to the person as well, because I don't know, even though a diamond ring might be a financial risk for you, or maybe even not, you know, who knows, this woman or this man even might be like, well, just, I don't give a shit, you know. And for me, this is no sign of, okay, you're totally sure about it. Especially because I know that you're just fucking rich and wealthy and stuff, so it's not that of a big deal, but maybe also time. I mean, committing a lot of time to somebody else or to something else, yeah, could also be working in that way. One more thing on free will. Just consider the next thought that pops in your mind. Where did it come from? Did you really choose to think it, and only then did you think it? Certainly not. Realizing this can help us become less obsessive about our opinions, feelings, and desires. Humans usually give so much importance to their desires that they try to control and shape their entire world according to those desires. It is better to understand ourselves, our minds, and our desires rather than to try to realize whatever fantasy pops up in our heads. Yes, good idea. Things happen. Can I do it? Yes, you can, but it takes some time. Social media. I really am looking forward to that. I kind of feel like I haven't read it, but I feel that there's going to be like, oh, social media is bad and we should not be using it and something like that. This is what I assume, by the way. It is fascinating and terrifying to behold people who spend countless hours constructing and embellishing a perfect self online, becoming attached to their creation, mistaking it for the truth about themselves. If you could only feel what the people in the photos felt while taking them. Hence, if you really want to understand yourself, Harari says, you should not identify with your Facebook or Instagram account. Actually, not that bad, because I think so as well, like, even though on the other hand, I gotta have to say that if you do want to be a certain person, if you do want to position yourself, your brand in a specific way, then you gotta also have to present yourself in that way online, So from a marketing and business perspective then of course you could also be like, well, just, I'm not fancy, I'm whatnot, and I'm not gonna present myself in the very best way of showing a certain value or showing a certain adjective or some shit. You could do that, but I don't know if it is not gonna harm your marketing efforts and your I don't know, you know what I mean. I know that you know what I mean. So yeah, but I still know what he means, that I don't know, just trying to make it kind of perfect, and in terms of like, you are just a person, you're not having a business, you're not trying to sell anything, you're just doing your thing, and you're just so into social media in terms of like, this is my life and this is who I am, and just seeing it maybe even more as who you are than you yourself as a person, which is not good, I guess, which is plainly not good. By the way, am I recording? Would be, yes. It should be fine. Would have not been that of a good thing. The Buddha and the universe. The Buddha taught that the three basic realities of the universe are, the first one, everything is constantly changing, which is definitely the case. The second thing is, nothing has any enduring essence. Yes, everything is gonna fucking pass, motherfucker. And the third one, nothing is completely satisfied. Suffering emerges because people fail to appreciate this. You can explore the furthest reaches of the galaxy, but you will never encounter something that does not change, that has an eternal essence and that completely satisfies you. Yes, not gonna find that shit. We are actually, I think, never gonna be satisfied. But on one hand, it is also something that's good, I guess. I think it is. I just think that I think the next episode is gonna be more about me talking. Maybe this is fun. Maybe I should go through some Reddit questions. I think I'm gonna do that, because I haven't been doing this in quite a while. Even though, well, I'm not sure. The thing is, we are never gonna be satisfied. We're always craving for something new, for something more, for something whatever. So yeah, and things are indeed always gonna change, which is a beautiful thing. On one hand, on the other hand, it can also be something that's maybe not that of a nice thing. If relationships change and all sorts of things that you do not really want to change. Chapter 21, meditation. I don't really know what he's going to talk about there, but I'm looking forward to it. Harari echoes what philosophers have been saying for millennia, that the deepest source of suffering is the patterns of our own minds. Yes, indeed. When I want something and it doesn't happen, my mind reacts by generating suffering. Suffering is not an objective condition in the outside world. It is a mental reaction generated by our own minds. Learning this is the first step towards ceasing to generate more suffering. Meditation is not an escape for reality. It is getting in touch with reality. Without a focus and clarity provided by this practice, Harari says, he could not have written this book. He sees meditation as yet another valuable tool in the scientific talking, okay, especially when trying to understand the human mind, which is an interesting take on conflating calm and clarity with ambition and progress. Harari closes out with some words of wisdom. Consciousness is the greatest mystery in the universe. Yes, what is fucking conscious? We had better understand our minds before the algorithms make a match up for us. I like meditation. I really like it. I think it is a cool thing. And it works for me, I guess. You know, someday, at this point in time, I'm doing not that well with meditation, to be honest. Because of, I don't know, there's a lot of shit in my mind and, you know, a lot of things that I think about. And I think it's actually been one of the worst times meditating that I've ever had in my whole entire life in just the last 2 years, I guess, that I've been meditating. But I'm actually not quite sure. Nah, but I think it's kind of 2 years. Maybe 3. And I also just, something that I often talk about is, I don't really know if it is just benefiting myself, you know, because I've been doing it for such a long time that I don't really know if it is affecting me in any way. So I basically would have to stop it for a while and then see if just, you know, if it does something to my happiness or my well-being or clarity or whatnot. But I don't want to try it out quite because, I don't know, I'm feared of just not having this flow again. Final remarks. This was one of my more enjoyable reads this year, and while many of the concepts introduced here weren't overly new to me, given my voracious appetite for multidisciplinary learning, which will come as no surprise to listeners of this show, Harari has a way of packing key concepts up in a way that not only makes for entertaining reading, but also makes you better appreciate what you already knew. If I had to give this book a score, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Only because I was familiar with most of the key concepts presented. And I would recommend it to every listener as an accomplice to take with you into your 21st century journey. You can pick up a copy on Amazon and where all good books are sold, and find a link to this book review and book links in the show notes. I would love to know what you thought about this review. Please hit me up on Twitter, blah, 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 blah. I might even be doing this. I'm not quite sure though. Pretty nice. You know, it's a pretty amazing thing that he decided to just, to just give this away for free, basically, you know, because, you know, you can always just put things behind a paywall and shit, and I don't know. I don't really believe in it, but I also believe in pricing as a way of marketing something, in, you know, and also a good way to make people appreciate things, I guess, you know, in terms of like, if you have to pay for something, and especially if it is just really a lot of money, then you're also gonna act on it in a different way. You know, if you've bought something, a course, something else, then I think chances are way higher that you're gonna push through, that you're gonna do something, that you're gonna whatnot. I know, if you really have to pay quite a lot to do something, and especially also if there's some social boundaries, quote unquote. I know, in terms of like, okay, if I'm gonna stop, people are just gonna be mad at me and people are not gonna just like me anymore. Not the severe things, of course, but in that way. Also just doing this for yourself. And this is something that Tim Ferriss is also doing in the following way. There is something called anti-charities, which I don't even know if this is an official term or something, but you know, I don't believe in it. I quite don't believe in it. But the thing is, you could make yourself do something by, by having a certain amount of money ready, and the certain amount of money should also be like, it should not be like just $1 or 30 cents or some shit that you can just throw away and that's quite it. No, it should be an amount of money that you're going to be mad at for losing. So if you do not push through, and there's something else that I want to talk about. If you don't push through, you have to use this money and donate it to an anti-charity, which might be the American Nazi Foundation. Apparently there's something like that. Gotta have to actually look that up. American, or just something else. Like there's a lot of organizations that you probably do not want to just support because of political reasons, because of just ethical reasons, because of whatever. American Nazi universities, what the fuck? Or is it a foundation? I don't know if it is a foundation, or it is just something like a club. Pioneer Fund, Southern Poverty Law Center. Was Nazi organics created in the US? German American Bund, or Bund. The American Nazi Party. Maybe this is it. We're gonna see. ANP is an American. I do not know if I can actually show that. The funny thing is, The founder was George Lincoln Rockwell. And he was also the leader with Matt Cowell, I guess. Ideology, neo-Nazism, and shit like this. I don't really know if I can show the flag. Well, I think in the internet it is fine. I just know that in Austria I wouldn't be fine with it. But what's there? Okay, it's just globalized, isn't it? They also have a website. I gotta have to check that out. I'm gonna get fucked for that. Rockwell founded the organization as the World Union of Free Enterprise National Socialists, but renamed it to the American Nazi Party in 1960. Since the late 1960s, a number of small groups have used the name American Nazi Party, with most being independent from each other and disbanding before the 21st century. So it's actually wondered that I can access the site. I know that is not like, no, I'm not gonna do that. By the way, well, I hope that I'm not gonna get any problems with that, doing that. But can I support them? Yes, you can support. So, it might be an option. You may download an ANP official support application pledging to donate a minimum of $10 a month towards the financing of our vital operations. Vital. In return, you will receive all ANP publications, including the White Worker. Oh my god. So, yeah, okay, this would be an option. Is there something else? What if I Google anti-charity? Anti-charity. Charity. Yes, I can't fucking write. What is an anti-charity? Stick. Sure. It's actually pretty nice that I'm doing that, because there is actually a site that lets you do this. And this site is apparently called Stick. STICKK. So how can I find out where my forwarded charity money went? Doctors Without Borders, American Red Cross. So these are the good ones, isn't it? What is an anti-charity? There we have it. Americans United for Life, NARAL, Pro-Choice American Foundation, National, or is it actually this? NRA Foundation, Policy Exchange, Conservative, the Arsenal Fan Club, the Chelsea Fan. Do you want to tell me that this is a fucking anti-charity? I mean, it's just some soccer clubs. But I mean, of course, like the Liverpool Fan Club. Well, and the funny thing is the note. Stick has not formed a partnership or any other relation with these charities. We have merely identified them as recipients of unsolicited donations. Educational Fund to Stop Gun Violence. Isn't this like just also a good one? National Organization for Marriage. Gay and Lesbian Advocates and Defenders. Well, I'm not quite sure though. I am not quite sure, but I want to check it out. Stick. Ready to finally stick to your commitment? Yes, select your goal. $46 million on the line, which means 498,000 commitments created and 1 million workouts completed. So, which means, can I calculate that? What if I just divide 46 million by 498k? Am I then gonna get? So I should get like just the average spent on a thing. Why is it so slow today? Well. So yeah, this is one thing that you could be doing to stick to things. What was actually the thing that I wanted? Because I wanted to talk about something else as well. Or was it that? I don't know. The thing is, I'm pretty grateful for the summary. It's a pretty nice thing. It has been a pretty nice thing. It's also just a pretty insightful and interesting book as such. And yeah, I like it. So I think I'm gonna end the episode there, I guess. So the question of the day. The question of the day is, what could you do? What could you make? What could you create? What could you say that is gonna make somebody else's life just really fucking good? What could it be? Could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be whatever? Ask yourself and tell it to yourself. I guess. I'm not sure, but I guess. Anyway, I am gonna end the episode there. So I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself when you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is always a pretty fucking good thing. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe indeed even a business idea, but at least purpose, purpose itself alone per se is a pretty nice thing and a pretty neat and important thing. Yeah, I do not want to say thing, but let's thing it. Let's just think it. Anyway, thank you very much for the time and attention. I really hope that I've been able to just share some things and talk about some things that might have been of value to you. Yeah, I just hope that I'm going to see you the next time. Maybe even subscribe to the podcast and or to the YouTube channel. I would at least just certainly appreciate that. So I'm gonna see you the next time. Bye bye. And my neck, and my neck, and my neck. Yes. So this is not on the video anymore, so there's probably gonna be some black thing. I'm probably also gonna cut it away anyway. So, or I'm gonna see. Maybe I'm gonna remind myself on the fact that I've said something now. Yeah, it could be the case. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna see you.